Welcome everyone to another edition of our Disaster Breakdown. Today we're breaking down the 1910 Paris flood, one of the most devastating floods in modern history. Let's get to it.
First off, let's take a weekend recap. Mount Vesuvius took a tough loss to Pompeii. Pompeii's defense gets burned, causing them to take a loss at home to a shockingly good and sneaky Mount Vesuvius team. Next, we have Perez taking a fall to the Seine River. Seine River flooded the Perez defense with controlling offense and swift defense that caught Perez off guard.
Alright folks, let's talk about how this disaster even got started. You see, every great team has a solid game plan, and for the Seine River, that plan was non-stop rainfall. From late 1909 into early 1910, Perez got absolutely hammered with weeks of non-stop rain, soaking the field and wearing down the defense, in this case, the city's flood protections. By the time the water levels started rising in January, Perez was already playing from behind, and let me tell you, this was just the beginning.
Now, when you're facing a major opponent like rising rivers, you gotta have a strong defense. But here's the problem. Perez flood defense were not built for this kind of pressure. The first major breakthrough, the subway system. The city's brand new pride and joy, only for a few years old. But it was not waterproof. The Seine's offense broke through, sending water surging through tunnels, shutting down trains, and turning underground stations into swimming pools. It was like watching a defensive line completely collapse. Perez was scrambling, trying to patch up all the leaks and control the damage, but nothing was working. I repeat, nothing was working.
Alright, let's talk stats. Because if you think this flood was just a minor inconvenience, think again. By January 28th, the Seine hit its peak at a jaw-dropping 8.6 meters. That is 26 feet above normal levels. That means entire streets disappeared. Businesses were forced to close, and thousands of residents had to evacuate their homes. Imagine trying to walk to work and instead you're rowing a boat through the streets. That's exactly what was happening. I'm talking bridges underwater, wooden walkways built just so people could get around, and absolute chaos in the city.
So at the end of the day, this was a landslide victory for the Seine River. The city of Perez simply wasn't ready for this kind of offense. The flood pushed past every defensive measure, shut down the subway, wiped out the businesses, and kept the Perez underwater for weeks. Final score, flood 1, Perez 0. And let's just say, this was not a game for anyone who wanted to see a rematch